We're in different locations. I'm in Melbourne.
Hey, I'm from Mackay, Queensland. Hey.
Yay. Well, that's good, yeah. And so we're actually here to help. We're here to help people to understand, like, well, do you want to do your story, Heather?
Righto.
The Outbackpreneur.
The Outbackpreneur. Yeah, we're here to help people to grow their business online, to learn how to even start a business online right from the very, very, very beginning.
Yeah, right at the start.
Yep, because when we started...
Oh, my God!
It was a bit of a nightmare. Just to say the least, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, but the point is, though, Heather, we actually had each other. And that actually was really important to know, that we had each other's back.
Yes.
And that things that I learned I'd share with you, and you were great at sharing everything that you learned as well. And I think that's the only reason why we've been able to, be as successful as we have in learning what we're doing, and to be able to pass the information over. I mean,
exactly.
Like, the point is, though, if anybody, in this Facebook here, if anybody wants to put down a number one, if they're struggling, just put number one down in the bottom there, and we can follow up with you, and you can be part of our talk group if you want to, which is the Online Resource Centre.
Yeah, so, TORC.
Yeah, let's talk.
Let's talk.
That's how we're doing it.
Yep.
So, and that's what we're doing today. Let's talk about it. So, sorry, Heather, I interrupted.
Well, just a quick bit of history about Brian and myself. We met in April of 2016. We were over in Bali at a mastermind, and we all got together and we stayed in touch when we came back to our hometowns, and we continued to encourage one another to keep going, because it can be a very, very lonely place being an online entrepreneur, very lonely, and you can feel defeated, and we need to encourage one another. And that's what we did. We stayed in touch. We ring just about every day, and we're just, constantly, we get an idea. Oh, hey, Brian. We bounce it off each other, don't we?
Yeah.
Like it might start off as this idea, but then it's a better idea.
Something else. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, I love that we can bounce things off each other.
And look, we're here. Look, we've already got that value with us, and if anybody else wants to join in with us, I mean, it's really just about. I mean, we can do Zooms each day if people want to join in and to flow through the information that we're learning.
That's right.
There are so many terms and things that you know. Like, if you think that you already know a fair bit of stuff, just put a number 2 down below. I mean, because then we can go to some more intermediate understandings for you.
Yeah. Or if you think you can bring value to the table.
Yeah, put a number 3 down the bottom.
Yeah. If you've got stuff that you know and you're happy to share with people, that's what we're here to do, to give value to people, to help them to learn.
Yeah. Well, as you said before, Heather, you can feel it can be a lonely exercise if you want to make it like that, and if it's a situation where you're in there and you don't really have people that can guide or give you some information along the way, or just simple things like the other day. It's like, how do you make the text larger in Facebook? You can't really, unless it's only in one line. If it's one line, it'll just automatically go large. And so I battled with that for probably about, a couple of hours, and I sent out a few requests, and my friend Heather was, she was up bush, or out in the bush having a good break and connecting with
fantastic.
So it was a bit hard to get onto it, but that's okay. But back to today. But it's interesting, those things can sometimes be blocks to you actually progressing if you let them be.
Yes. Because you can spend so much time on one thing and be so focused, and it can really get you down, actually, because especially if you're not getting the answers.
Oh my gosh.
That you need.
Remember Click Magic. Great program, don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh. And now once you learn how to do a subdomain, it's as easy as pie.
Look, everything's easy once you know how.
Yeah.
You know, that's
and I think that's one of the things, Heather. We've done a few miles along the way. It might seem like a short time to some people, but the kilometres or the miles that we've done have been incredible in learning different processes and things. Like, you know, how do you get people to ask you about what you're doing? Or how do you go out and try and, you know, get people interested in what you're doing too?
That's right.
And there's different mediums. You know, you've got the Facebook, you've got Twitters, you've got Instagram, you've got LinkedIn, you've got blah, 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 on it goes.
Yes.
And, but I think one of the posts I said this morning, I put up was, you know, it's like, it's what's in between your ears is really the problem. And how you think about it. So
I think it's very important for people to realise that, I know there's a whole heap of different social media out there, but I think it's, as we've learnt, to choose just one to start with, whether that be Facebook, whether that be Instagram, whether that be Twitter. Because if you try to learn everything all at once, it's very confusing, because the platforms are quite different and how they actually work. So it's very important to pick I think that's what I've learned, stick with one, become a master of that. You can do others, of course. There's nothing stopping you, Brian? You know, to learn the other programs. But I just think, you know, it's so much simpler if you do one and learn how to do that and master that.
Yeah.
You know,
it was interesting that, Heather, too. I mean, I had someone the other day who's following and training on Instagram, for example, and like he's really struggling. Like he got put in Instagram jail and he only had 6 followers. So
wow.
I know. And I don't know what he's done or not done.
Yep.
But like I've got quite a few hundred followers, and it's just a daily, you know, post a picture, because I like taking photos and posting them about what I'm doing. And I can actually then, in Instagram, if you actually do it from your phone, it's easy to put it across to Facebook and Twitter at the same time.
Yep. Okay.
It's not hard. And so you don't have to master each one of those. But what you said, Heather, is correct. If you know one and you want to work on it. But for example, how hard is it to take a photo, bang, in Instagram, and you put a little, you know, couple of hashtags or whatever, and bang, it's out there.
Yep.
So think about what your hashtag might be. I mean, I put hashtag do what you love.
Yep.
Because that's important for me. You know, love what you're doing and do what you love.
Yep.
So anyway, that's just a thought for today.
Yeah, awesome.
So remember, if you need some help and you want, just put a 1 down below this, and then we can we'll get back to you, and then we can put you in our group for talk, and you can follow what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah, we've got heaps of free. It's free to be in the talk Facebook and
in our group.
If you've got any questions, anything like that, or anything to add, any value, that's fantastic. It's not a selling platform. It's not for you to put your links on there and spam people. It's only to it's a generic platform to just to teach, help and guide. That's what we want to do. Yeah,
I think, Heather, one of the things for me is, and we've spoken about this a lot, is there's very few places, there are some, but there are very few places, either people or groups, that you can actually go to and be part of that cut through the rubbish and the selling and all the rest, and actually give you things that you need to be successful. I mean, like the other day, looking at figures, what is it? 95% of people who have an idea or want to work online never get anywhere. Never get anywhere. So 5%, 5 only. And they're the people that do things, find out, and have support in it.
Yep.
So we'll probably share a bit more of our story as we go along, because it's an interesting story of how we got to here. And it's been a battle for both of us and colleagues that we have as well, to actually even stay focused and be here where we are.
Exactly. Yeah, even though, like you said before, Brian, it's relatively a short period of time, but it feels like a long time.
Yeah,
because,
that's right.
You know, you're doing this every day. You're constantly learning. It's very tiring. You know, you're learning. You're watching videos. You're
trying to tell them the truth, are you, Heather? You're giving them the truth of this, are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. You'll hear all of this. Yeah, exactly. You'll hear.
You're going to be woohoo, $1 million. You know, you'll be a 6-figure earner in, you know, no time at all.
It's consistency is really the key. One of the
keys is being consistent. Absolutely.
Yeah, and absolutely. we can sort of help and guide you through that consistency, if you want to. Yeah. So look, what's the next thing we want to talk about tomorrow? I reckon we should talk about just basic stuff on Facebook. That
I think Facebook Live's a good.
Yeah. Let's have a look at that and see.
That's sort of what we're direction we're heading in at the moment, and getting some good training on. So we might want to share that.
Yeah, we want to be able to tell you what we're doing tomorrow. So remember, if you want a bit of help, down below, put a 1. If you're really great at all of this, you put a number 3 or 4 or whatever it was. So we'll get the scales worked out for you.
We'll have to write it down, eh?
Yeah, we'll do that. That's probably a good idea. All right then. Till next time.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.